Look like farmers are running out of cash, y'all. Under the crisis brought on by Trump. You know, some small farmers, they're on the brink of bankruptcy. Can't afford to run their farms.
I heard y'all farmers was mad that Trump doing you wrong. I see y'all making these videos. Some of y'all turning your flags upside down and you saying, nah, this what you get, farmers. I'm not. And then I heard some of you farmers are actually setting other black farms on fires because you jealous of black farmers because they had to get theirs out the mud, but you need some workers on your. I just find it funny. Who y'all thought was gonna come and work on them farms now? Come on now. Who y'all thought was gonna come and get those jobs?
It's called farmer responsibility or owner responsibility, where they're going to be largely responsible for these people. And they know these people. They've worked on the farms for 15 years, and all of a sudden so I have a great, Ron does, Christy does, we have a great feeling for the farmer and for others in the same position. And we're going to give them responsibility for people. And we're going to have a system of signing them up so they don't have to go. They can be here legally. They can pay taxes and everything else. They're not getting citizenship.
Farms just lost 100% of their workers overnight. Crops are rotting in the field, livestock is dying, immigration raids are collapsing American agriculture. Americans are about to learn what the actual cost of food really is.
All right, MAGA, get out there. Where are you at? You got your jobs back. You got your jobs that were taken from you. Get out there. Get out there and start working.
And he says that they're going to go to farms, arrest the migrants, and instead of deporting them, literally to fucking anywhere, the Supreme Court said that he could just send them anywhere. Instead of deporting them, he said they can stay there and work, because how can the farm survive if they don't stay there and work the farm? But he made sure to mention they're not going to get citizenship, and then the owner of the farm will have responsibility over them. Human beings that can't get citizenship.
So Texas farms don't have no workers? I like salad, y'all. I mean, what we gonna do? I'm not going out there. Y'all should have left them folks alone. Now look at us. We already overweight, out of shape, high blood pressure. Now we ain't got no vegetables. I am just waiting on MAGA to report to the fields. It's your turn.
You guys want to take a break or no?
Do you want to take a break?
I mean, I don't want to slow the progress down, but I'm not going to complain. It's getting hot. My blood pressure's getting low. You get out there in that watermelon field, when you start chunking the melons, you're out in the middle of here. I think you're in the middle of the Sierra Desert. It is no joke. Hard work, hard labor, long, hot. We were out there, what? Felt like 2 hours. How long was it?
About 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Felt like at least 2 hours. How'd you think I did? I think I held my own pretty good.
Yo no creo que les aguantáis ese ritmo.
Oh yeah. Now once I got in the groove of things, I was just, man, you get in the zone, and I started doing the twist method. Did you see that? That's pretty awesome. You try some walking down the watermelon field. No, I think I'm about to have a heat stroke.
¿Te gustó andar acá?
I don't know if you're speaking Spanish or English right now. Oh, hot!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Now, we have seen how the white farmers, they are really going bankrupt. Majority of them, they are losing their farms, and also majority of their workers, they are vanishing overnight simply because these people, they voted against their own interest. These people, they voted for deportation. These people, they voted so that black people and immigrant people can be punished. But all that, it is turning around. All that punishment that they voted black people and immigrant people to be punished, it is also punishing them. Now, we have seen the Texas farmers, Nebraska farmers, and also Florida farmers. They have come out and they are asking help from black people. These people, they want help from black people to help them to take the crops in the farm, because majority of their crops in the farm, it is rotten. We have seen how these people, they are going losses. We have seen how these people, the workers, they are not showing up in their farms. And because of that, these people, they have been asking help from black people. And you know what? Black people, they have refused to come and help them in their farms. So right now, black people, they are telling them that you guys, you went ahead and vote against your own interest. You voted so that black people can be punished. You went ahead and vote so that immigrant people can be deported back to their country. And these people, they know very well that the people who are helping them in their farms, they are the immigrant people. So these people, they voted so that these people can be deported back to their country, so that black people can come and help them in their farms. They thought that black people, they don't have good jobs in America. These people, they thought black people, they don't have that good jobs in America. So they right now, we have seen black people, they're telling them, no, we black people, we cannot come to work in your farms, because black people right now, they are having better jobs. Black people, they are really refused. And because of that, the Texas farmers, Nebraska farmers, and also Florida farmers, they are coming together and plead help from black people. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this video till the end, and I'll be back with more comment. All credit goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle. Remember to give a video a thumbs up. And also guys, this video, it is only for educational purposes. We are here to learn.
So when they cut Medicaid, the 12 million some odd people who are expected to lose their Medicaid, or more so, the people who will probably still be able to qualify for Medicaid, but they're going to have to prove that they work, are they expecting them to go fill out job applications to be farm workers? Because I just seen an article where in Northern California, they have to destroy food that is spoiling because there are no workers on the farm. So then I was thinking maybe this was a big plan to get people to work more, because they say everybody don't want to work. But the people that didn't mind doing the work, heavily underpaid and under egregious conditions, they've all been blanketed as being like bad people. No. Do they expect it to be AI? They're about to bring machines out there on the farms, because the machine's about to melt in the sun. But I was like, oh, maybe they have like this grand plan. The thing is, I don't think this grand plan is going to work out towards their benefit, because what a lot of wise people who are older say is, when you dig a ditch, make sure you dig two. The one you digging for me and the one that you gonna get needs to go in as well. But you know, you can't tell them people over there in DC nothing, so I always got to find out the hard way, I guess. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Like the AI is not gonna do it. The people on the Medicaid not gonna do it either. And y'all, they have the audacity to say that the people who did do the work don't deserve to be here. That's crazy.
When it comes to the white farmers who are losing all of their workers and are about to lose their farms, I say that's the way it was always meant to be. You were never meant to employ all of these people for little to nothing / nothing when it comes to your ancestors and be able to make a profit off of it. It was never meant to be the cool, rad thing that your family does for generations to make money. It was never honest work. It was never honorable. It was always tainted. It always involved holding people against their will to squeeze every single dime you could out of them, whether by force or by threat. It was always about that. And it was never right for this country to make that their foundation and their road to wealth. And so now that it's crumbling, we are returning to the original form of what things should have been. So there you go. I get that they work hard and some of these farms have been passed down from generation to generation. Well, for generation after generation, we've had all of the stuff that you have piled onto us passed down each and every time. I don't want anyone to suffer out here. I don't want anyone to be on the streets or lose their possessions or anything. And I don't want anyone to be exploited for their work either. I don't want anyone building off of the backs of people they deem less than human. So if you're already doing that and you lose the things that you've gained, if you're finally reaping what you sowed, so be it.
Have you seen these 3 videos? Let's talk about them.
Told ICE agents arrived this morning here right around 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't know how many people were detained. One of the farm workers we spoke said talked to said ICE agents were chasing some of their co-workers around until they were detained.
The farms.
Officials here were in fact ICE agents, and the people working at this facility were bussed out around 1 p.m. today. In the video we captured, it shows officials moving people into this white bus. These people were handcuffed with zip ties. The bus had shades preventing people from seeing who's inside.
meatpacking industry.
Impacting this construction project, but many others in the region as well. An industry expert telling us that these raids are having more drastic impacts now than in the past.
How does any of that make sense? This is about cruelty, and we are shooting ourselves in the foot. The number went up. It's 3,000 people a day. Elementary school graduations, courthouses, people doing it the legal way. 6 in the morning, at work, in the fields, picking. The logic that Americans are going to want to do these jobs? Like, what's the plan? Who's going to do these jobs? Like, think about it. Like, this can get even crazier really fast. We're like 5 months in. Ay, Diosito.
Here's a solution for undocumented workers in America. How about we give them work visas for the specific industry, but not give them work visas where the employer owns the rights to that employee. Make them legal where they can work here with a visa and they can work for anybody so that competition is fair, so that no longer can these greedy capitalist corporations take advantage and exploit undocumented immigrants and pay them in the shadows under the table. Now they have to pay them a fair wage. Now they have to honor labor rules and pay them overtime. Now they have to pay workers' comp, unemployment tax, payroll taxes. It's all on the up and up. Those guys can come work for people like me that will give them a fair shake.
Look like farmers are running out of cash, y'all. Under the crisis brought on by Trump. You know, some small farmers, they're on the brink of bankruptcy. Can't afford to run their farms. Well, they ain't got to worry, because J.D. Vance is there. You got to buy up that land. But that's what they wanted from the beginning. That's my opinion. They wanted to boot some of the farmers out so they can buy that land. They wanted their land. It's a goddamn shame that the farmers didn't see it coming. Goddamn shame. Yeah, they didn't see it coming. If they had this, you know, did a little more research, especially on J.D. Vance. He want that goddamn land. He want their land. That's my opinion. But if they had took the time and did some research, I think they wouldn't have voted Trump. But that's my opinion. Oh, well. They lose the land, they lose their land.
So it's come to my attention that the farmers who literally voted for Trump and voted for their own demise, who currently have crops sitting in their field that are rotting, and the farmers who are burning their own fields due to the crops rotting, they're thrown for a loop. And I guess they're thrown for a loop because they thought that once they got rid of the illegal immigrants, that black people were going to be out in the fields picking their crops. Because they think that we don't have jobs, that I guess we sit around on our asses all day. And I think it's so crazy because they really don't understand that black people are very educated. They don't understand that a lot of us possess a college education, and that we're qualified to do other jobs. They really think that we sit around taking advantage of the government all day.
42% of our agricultural workforce, 42% lack proper documentation. That means they should be deported in most people's eyes. That's almost half of your farmer workforce. Imagine what's going to happen when that falls off. Who's going to go work on the farms? On top of that, we don't understand that a healthy country relies on births, relies on new blood and new people. I've spoken about this many times, but when it comes time for us to be on Social Security, it's the kids who will come after us, the workforce that comes after us, that pays for us to be on here. That's what happens. That's how it always plays out. If you have a lack of workforce, you're not going to have the money to put into this.
Donald Trump, don't backpedal now. Now you're saying or acting like you're regretting or that it was a mistake that you did this mass deportation, although you set it in place And this was planned and thought out way before your presidency when y'all were concocting up this Project 2025. You had plenty of time to think about the consequences this was going to have, and you still proceeded with it. So now you're just realizing that all immigrants aren't criminals. Now you want to realize that they are actually hardworking people that have been working on these farms for over 20 years and just want to make an honest living for their family. Now you want to realize that now you have shipped all these hardworking immigrants off to their native land, that us Americans are not going to want to work in these fields for the prices that they are paying these immigrants. Now you're seeing that the farmers are suffering because of your dumb ass decisions. And it's sad because your blatant racism wouldn't allow you to actually delve into how agriculture works and how important the immigrants are when it comes to farming. And now you want to sit on a podium saying something needs to be done and that we have to use our common sense. Don't get French with us now. We ain't got to do nothing because I did not vote for you. I did not do this. So you need to fix this since they, the MAGA people, voted for you.
It is fascinating that you think this is going to happen because it's not. They have tried for decades to try and get Americans to go pick in the fields, and it's failed every fucking single time. So let me give you a little history, okay? Let's go back to the year 1965. And there's a Secretary of Labor dude named W. Willett Wirtz, and he wanted to recruit 20,000 high schoolers and college students across America to go pick in the fields, okay? See, what happened was, prior to 1965, there was something called the Bracero Act. It was put into place during World War II. It was an agreement between the American government and the Mexican government that allowed Mexican agricultural workers to come up and harvest across the United States. Okay, what happened was there was an activist named Cesar Chavez, and he started to advocate against the poor working conditions, the wage theft, and many other things that were going on with the Mexican agricultural workers that were coming up and working. So America, rather than make conditions better, also don't forget this is during the Civil Rights Movement, they thought, you know what, we'll just end this program and we'll just have white boys go pick in the fields. That'll solve all problems. Let's get into it. They launched a program called A-Team. That's right, not the TV show with Mr. T. No, it was the agricultural team. And this was they put ads in the newspaper all across America to recruit. Here's the interesting thing. 18,000 people did sign up. However, only 3,300 actually participated in the program and got to work in the fields. Guess what happened? Problems immediately arose for the A-Team nationwide. Okay, so this is directly from an article. In California, Salina Valley, 200 teenagers from New Mexico, Kansas, and Wyoming quit just after 2 weeks on the job. We worked 3 days and all of us were broke. The Associated Press quoted one team as saying, students elsewhere staged strikes. Living conditions and wages were so bad that they quit. The experiment quickly disappeared into the proverbial dustbin of history.
Texas, you guys are all up in Donald Trump's policies. I hope you guys learn a lesson once you see the ripple effect of the farms closing in your state. What's going to happen? And it's not just one farm. There's multiple farms that's closed down because these undocumented immigrants are scared and not showing up. And the small businesses that rely on these farms, their goods and stuff, you will see the effects. You guys don't think this through. You just run on with your racist, ways of deporting undocumented migrants that are good workers. They're good workers. Now they're not showing up. So listen, Texas, we'll see how that works out for you.
It feels like the people in power want to be glorified slave owners. Like, I think at this point, being a slave owner, that just must be a genetic thing. Because how much do they want to control people? Like, how much control do they want to have over the everyday person? So like, oh, you have to go work. And if you don't work, then you're going to be homeless. If you're homeless, then we might put you in jail. So you have to work for us anyway. You're going to make us money either way. We're going to do what we want to do. Oh, and by the way, you're not allowed to, make decisions about pregnancy, about bringing a child into this world. No, that's done by the government at this point. Yeah. No abortion for you. No. It's like, y'all just want to be glorified slave owners. You want to own people. You want to own people and have them do work for you and then birth more slaves for you and your system in order to make you more money. That literally is just a glorified slave owner. So what are we doing here?
So yesterday I made a video talking about the white farmers and how they were crashing out all over social media because they voted for Shitty Bridges and thought he was going to give them back slaves. And also because of that, they lost 100% of their workforce due to the ICE raids. I want to come on here today and I want to give some love to black farmers who I don't think get enough, right? I can appreciate that they are not on the internet spazzing out and crashing out. You want to know why? It's because whatever is going on in the current climate when it comes to farming, they're not new to this because they have faced adversity, not being given what they need in order to be successful, unlike their white counterparts, right? Because they have been spoon-fed everything they've needed in order for them to be successful. And now that that privilege and entitlement is gone because of who they voted for, they on the internet trying to garner some favor and some sympathy. Meanwhile, black farmers chilling. They cool as cucumbers because guess why? They know how to handle themselves and their farms during times of crisis. I guess favor ain't fair after all, huh?
If you're paying attention to agriculture in the news cycle, you might have noticed the efforts to expand the H-2A seasonal foreign guest worker program, or even make it easier to access a program for non-seasonal work. What you might not realize is the chilling effect this would have on American farm workers. Republicans and even some Democrats are talking about freezing, cutting, and even possibly discontinuing the federal adverse effect wage rate. Now, the AEWR is a yearly survey of wages by each area that determines the next year's minimum amount of pay for H-2A workers in that specific place. Protection makes sure that H-2A workers are not undercutting American farm workers' wages. If you seem confused, don't worry. It's actually really simple. The AEWR might seem complicated at first, but it's actually very simple and extremely important for American farm workers. Why is it so important for us to fight this, you may ask? Well, because if growers and their political cronies get their way, not only would the H-2A workers' wages be frozen, but their lower salaries could be an unfair competition for domestic workers. Now, this would affect all farm workers' wages. It would be just wrong for Congress to give growers another corporate subsidy that decreases wages even lower for farm workers who harvest the food we see on our shelves every single day and risk their lives harvesting the food we need. Importing more vulnerable workers, getting rid of the protections that keep them safe, and at the same time lowering American workers' wages and job security is not the right thing to do. Now more than ever, it is crucial for you to vocalize your opinion. So make sure to say no to these provisions which will harm farm workers in the U.S.
So you wanted proof that the immigration policy would be affecting everyone? Look at your grocery bill next month and the next coming months. ICE ramped up raids in places like Ventura County and parts of the Central Valley fields in California. They went through fields, they went through houses, you name it, grabbing people up. Now, farmers are seeing up to 70% of their workers not showing up to work, left by fear of being arrested. And that means fruits, vegetables are going unharvested, which means they're going to go bad in the fields. A 1/6 generation farmer put it like this: if 70% of your labor force vanishes, so does your crop. And most local workers don't want to pick these plants. And it's a real worry. Cropland is worth nearly $60 billion, and that could be at risk of going into bankruptcy, being sold off to the next bidder, and that bidder may not be an American company. That could be a problem. Workers themselves are scared. One said, if I show up to work,
I don't know if I'll ever come home to see my family again. The bottom line is, this isn't just hurting farms. It could raise food prices and disrupt supply chains nationwide. Be sure to follow along as I continue to provide updates, and let me know your thoughts below in the comments.
I'm trying to figure this shit out with the farmers and the truckers. Maybe y'all can help me. I get it that y'all like Donald Trump, because you voted for him, especially the farmers, seeing as though y'all voted for him twice. Y'all didn't learn shit the first time around. And the truckers support him. Understood. But how does that help you and your business and your family succeed in life? That's kind of like voting against your own interests. As your shit rots in the silos in terms of the soybean, as the ships get turned around from China and other countries, and the ones that are coming are only halfway full, and the truckers can't get a load because there ain't shit on the docks to pick the fuck up. How does voting for Trump help you? Because you're getting a subsidy check? I'm talking about you farmers. And because the truckers have to continue to struggle? Is that what makes America great? Is that how you think that you have the luxury of continuing to separate yourself from the American people when you are the American people? And all of this shit is connected. We all need to band together to sit up here and get people in office that are going to support our interests. Us, the people, not the oligarchs, not the rich, not Donald Trump.
Someone asked me the other day, why is it that more of America's farmers have not yet turned on Trump? After all, he's cut farm-to-table programs, he's cut farm-to-school lunch programs, he's cut all kinds of funding for, structural improvements, drainage, climate resilience programs. He's cut all kinds of grant funding for farmers all across this country. He's cut USAID that has cost America's farmers billions. Ask farmers in Nebraska how they're doing right now. We are seeing silos full of corn and wheat and sorghum that go unsold. The United States government had promised to buy these crops, and then they pulled the contracts because Elon Musk gutted USAID. And all of this food, not just grains, but also milk that is turned into powdered milk, that was meant to go and secure our interests abroad and feed hungry people, is now sitting unsold in the United States of America, and that is hurting our farmers. Why are more of them not pissed off? And somebody else said, well, why are more farmers not freaking out that all of their migrant labor is being snatched by ICE? We are seeing ICE running into farm fields, snatching migrants who are toiling, picking our food, the food to feed the American people. They are coming in and tackling and snatching these folks, abducting them, and stuffing them into detention facilities where billions of our taxpayer money is going to keep these people imprisoned. And someone in my comments who was from the Midwest said, oh, don't you understand, in a lot of these states, especially a lot of the grain farmers and dairy farmers, they don't actually use that much immigrant labor. If they have very mechanized, agricultural setups on their farms, then they're not really interfacing that much with migrant labor. And yes, I totally understand, for those folks who are growing large amounts of soybeans and grains, that makes sense. If you don't have to interact with brown people on a regular basis, you can dehumanize them more easily. You can justify what Trump is doing more easily. But there are farmers all around the country that rely heavily, heavily on migrant labor, especially where I am on the West Coast. And they are about to feel the hurt real bad. It's starting to be that time of year where more and more crops need to be picked. And while it was an issue earlier in the year, like in Florida and Southern California, we saw a little bit of farm laborers who didn't want to show up to pick strawberries and broccoli and citrus because they were worried about ICE. Well, now we are seeing the Republicans in Congress. Republicans are now the fascist party of this country, right? They are fully consolidated as a fascist party. They have now agreed to take billions of our tax dollars and expand ICE tenfold. The Republicans in Congress have now given Donald Trump $150 billion of our hard-earned tax money to create his own massive secret police force, his own Gestapo that will be terrorizing communities all over the country. There's $150 billion for raids, but $0 for Medicaid. Do not forget that Republicans did that. Republicans did that to all of us. And so now we are seeing a tenfold increase in the completely rational fear of our hardworking migrant farm workers who feed this nation. And guess what? farmers all around the country, right at a time when cherries and soon plums and peaches and all kinds of other crops around the country are coming ripe, crops that by and large need to be picked and sorted by hand. There's a massive farm labor shortage because workers are terrified that they are going to be snatched off the job, that while they are working, someone will snatch them out of the field and they will never see their families again. I'd like to point you to a piece from Spokane Public Radio from last week. It's called "Fear of ICE Causes Labor Shortage for Washington Cherry Growers." We've had 200 years of migrant farm workers in this country traveling from Mexico up the West Coast, following the picking season to harvest our food. Now, we've also had 200 years of abusing those farm workers, exploiting them, refusing to pay them a living wage or giving them safe work conditions. Yes, one of the things I've said previously is that I hope at the end of all of this, one of the things that comes out of this is that we understand the people who pick our food, they deserve dignity, they deserve a living wage, they deserve safe working conditions. They also deserve justice, and the people who are doing this to them deserve accountability. What we're seeing is a lot of the stone fruit pickers up here in Oregon and Washington, they come up from California and they are afraid to make that drive. They're afraid that there will be checkpoints where they will get abducted. They're afraid once they get here that they will be abducted by ICE. And so they're hiding. I can only imagine what kind of food insecurity that creates for their families. So the Spokane Public Radio piece talks about how the cherry picking labor shortage in Washington state is reaching a crisis point. They interview a woman named Rosa Hernandez, who is picking cherries at an orchard in Wenatchee. She was one of the few who was willing to make the drive from California to Washington to pick this year. She did so because she's an American citizen. But she said even though she is a U.S. citizen, she was terrified to make the drive because she's a brown person. We are seeing ICE doesn't give a shit about your citizenship. If you look like you could potentially be an immigrant or have immigrant ancestry, if you happen to have any kind of an accent, if you speak Spanish, they don't care, they will snatch you. And there's no oversight for you. There's no protection for you right now. She talks about how she did the long drive up to Washington state and she was afraid to pull over at rest stops to go pee because they have heard that ICE agents are waiting at rest stops. They're waiting at gas stations to snatch people. One of the farmers that they interviewed said that he's really terrified they can't get people to pick their cherries and that impacts the financing of their farm. So when you couple the fact that fruit is rotting on the tree with the cuts in grant programs and the volatile economic circumstances in the United States, he's worried that what we're going to see is by next year, more and more farms will be going under. Even Fox News for Seattle, even Fox News is covering this story, saying the growers are not just worried about cherries, they are worried that these labor shortages will extend to apples, grapes, and many other fruits that are grown in Washington state, also grown here in Oregon. Fox News called immigrant farm workers essential to our agricultural system. They said growers across central Washington say fears of immigration enforcement and potential ICE raids are keeping workers away from the field and are currently threatening to leave millions and millions of dollars worth of cherries unpicked, rotting on the trees. The Fox News story went on to interview migrants who said they are scared to show up and that the fear will compound. It will get worse and worse as ICE escalates. And then interestingly enough, there's a whole section in this article for Fox News readers that is called Why You Should Care. Not surprisingly, maybe. It doesn't say you should care because what is being done to our immigrant farm workers is inhumane, it's cruel, it's illegal, it's terrible, it's an ethnic cleansing in the United States. No. Why you should care, Fox News reader, is because Washington state is the nation's top producer of sweet cherries. And if the fruit is not being picked, that means that there is going to be a shortage and prices are going to go up. Even a delay, even if there's just a delay in picking, fruit is rotting on the tree. Fruit is an ephemeral crop, y'all. Fruit can't just sit there hanging out. You have to pick it when it's ripe. And so any delay, any shortage of labor for any period of time is immediately lost revenue. Now, this piece came out right before the big bloated budget bill got passed by Republicans in Congress. And, the Fox News take is hopefully lawmakers will consider the long-term economic impact of the agricultural labor force and even revisit immigration reform. I don't know how to make Republicans care about immigrants. I don't know how to make them have compassion and a conscience. I don't know how to make them be moved by the suffering that is being inflicted by our government right now. I don't know how to make them care about anything but their own pocket, their own personal suffering, their own negative experiences. And you could say at some point there's going to be such a severe shortage of labor on our farms that people are going to go hungry. It's going to impact the economy. And then folks will start to care. They will want things like immigration reform. I hope so. But also I am quite worried that this massive expansion of ICE abductions to 3,000 people a day, 3,000 non-criminals a day that are being stuffed into these concentration camps, that those will become forced labor camps. We've already seen Trump say that multiple times, that people in detention camps could be lent back to the farmers. But as of right now, it looks like there is going to be a shortage of all kinds of crops that are coming ripe over the next several weeks. It looks like there's going to be a shortage of what is available in the stores. There will be increased prices. Until we stop it, there will be increasing food shortages. Until we stop it, there will be increasing human rights violations. Until we stop it, there will be hundreds of billions of our tax dollars being used to inflict suffering, to fund the American Gestapo, not only terrorizing our country, but weakening our food supply and our entire nation.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how the Texas farmers, they are really desperate and they are calling black people to come and help them to work in their farms. And these people, they voted for racism, and right now they have come out and realized that racism, it is really expensive. And right now they know that all the policies that they were voting to punish black people and immigrant people, it is also punishing them, because these people, they voted so that these people can be deported back to their country so that they can have America to be only white country. So this is a racism, and they are now feeling how racism, it is very expensive, simply because these people, we all know that the people who build America, it is the black people. These people, they can't do without black people. That is one of the things that these people, they need to know. If even today they decided to deport all black people in America, you will see how America will fall down, because when you go and see the how the criminal justice they are dealing with black people, it is not the same with how they are dealing with white people, because the criminal injustice in America, it has made like black people, like it is generating more money to the black people, because in any mistake that black people, he or she has found in a mistake, he or she cannot go for free. But for a white person, he can walk out for free. But a black person, he must pay fine or anything so that they can be free. So this is to tell you that the criminal injustice in America, it is using to generate more money from black people. And we all know that black people are the ones who have built America. Black people, they have sweat, they worked very hard, they went into forced slavery, and the black people, they managed to build this America. And right now we are seeing that these people, they don't want black anymore. And that's why these people, they have been voting for years just to punish black people. But this time round, God of black, I can say God, I know God is for all, but I can say that God of blacks, he has now seen the pain and the suffering that black people have been going through in America. And God, he has decided to come out and also show these other people that racism, it is very expensive. And if you are doing wrong thing to other person, it will also come back to you. And right now, they are now feeling exactly they are feeling the policy that they voted so that this policy can punish black people. It is also punishing them. So I have some of the few comments that I want to read it for you guys. And also remember, you can share your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me, what do you feel about our video of today, and share the comment on the comment section. I want to read you some of the message from our black people, to our black farmers. They have also come out and sent a message to the these white farmers. And you can wonder, why are the black farmers not crying? It is only the white farmers. Where are the black farmers? Because I'm supposed to see also black farmers crying, but black farmers, they were already prepared. The reason why you are seeing black farmers, they are not crying, it is because these people, they were already prepared. So I want to read some of the comment here. So this one is saying that turns out racism is expensive. Farm where? So this one is telling this white farmers that racism, it is very expensive, and right now you are feeling what you are now feeling how racism, it is very expensive. Don't ask black people, ask white people. They are the ones who voted for that man. So this one is saying that these white farmers, they should not ask black people. Instead, they should ask the MAGA people who voted for that man. You know that man, so I don't want to mention his name. So this one is saying that this is literally the new modern day slavery. Yeah, so this one is saying that these people, they voted so that immigrant can be deported back to their country, so that they can have black people like slaves, because we all know how these people have been treating black people in America. So farmers being responsible for their employees who are not considered citizens, that sounds like slavery to me. Yeah, so you have heard, and you know, sometimes I wonder, these people, they knew very well, the people who are helping them in their farms, they are immigrant people, and they went ahead and vote for deportation. They went ahead and vote the people that are helping them to be deported, knowing that black people will come and enjoy doing that job in their farms, but black people, they have refused. So this one is saying that he said owner's responsibility on a national television, it's a slavery period. How many times must Americans see that Republicans can't govern? Every time they are in power, they screw the economy up. So this one, they're saying that every time these people that have been voting Republicans, and the way Republicans, they have been ruling America, every time they always ruin up the economy. So these people, they need to change, not to vote for Republicans. So they are not mad. This is what the folks ask for. They not angry. So and so this one is saying that they are not mad. This is what these folks ask for. They not angry. So these people, they are not mad. This is what they ask for. It has always been the people who work the hardest get paid the last. Yeah. I am headed out to feed my own chicken and tend to my own garden and check out how things are going in my own orchard. Yeah. If you think 2 hours was bad, how you think 400 years felt? So this one is saying that black people, they have been suffering for 400 years, but these people, they have been suffering like around, even it has not like 1 year or 2 years, but for them it is very painful than how black people, they have been suffering for 400 years. We are yet to be compensated for the 100 of years you owe our ancestor. Pay us what you owe. So this one is asking for black reparation. Also, these people, they want our help. They want black people help. And also, first of all, they need to pay for reparation. They need to pay for the damages they did to our black people. They need to pay so that black people can start consider to forgive them. This one is saying they can call their family member to work for them. Yeah, this one is saying that, you know, majority of black people, they have been saying that these people, they should not call black people. These people, they need to call MAGA people. They need to call their family members to come and help them. It is because also they participated in voting for this administration. This one is saying that voting for the wrong candidate has consequences. Donald Trump told the poor people a lie who people a lie who vote for him that the immigrant are taking their jobs. So this one is saying that these people, they voted for Donald Trump because Donald Trump lied to them that immigrants are the ones who are taking their jobs. But in real sense, we all know that immigrants are the one who have been working so hard. They have been pushing the American economy, but these people right now, they are no more, and they have started to feel how economy it is without immigrant people. So this is to tell you that immigrant people, they are holding the economy of America. These are plenty of white people living in rural areas that live on government assistance who can work in the field. All the government has to do is cut off government assistance, and these people can choose between eating and not eating. Wow, hey, black people, I can say here, you have a crazy reply to this to our topic of today. Seriously, hell no. So this one is saying black people, you should not go and help them. Get your family out in the field to pick crops. Farmers slavery all over again. So these people is like they want they want to remind black people how they were working during slavery, because these people calling black people to help them in their farms, it is like they want slavery. They want to repeat like slavery, despite is right now they cannot just go ahead and force black people to work for them, because right now you know that black people, they know exactly what they are doing, and they know black people right now, they are so brave people. So the farmers owner could start abusing their power. This is the first time I've heard owner responsibility equated to slavery. Do look at the history of migrant field workers camps to discover the historical similarities. Maybe they can get tackled to get our crops for us. So guys, you have seen some of the comments that majority of black people, they have come out and reply to these farmers, Texas farmers, who they are calling help from black people. So you guys, for me, I can tell you that it is what they are being, how they are being treated right now. It is what they voted for. So let them go through this pain and see how black people they have been feeling for years. So thank you so much, guys. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.